We'll see. I'm live on YouTube. I'm by myself on YouTube so far, but at least I'm live. I have a camera. I have 0 people. We'll see what happens. Okay, let me scroll up here and see what else we've got. Are starchy fruits or vegetables okay? Not so much, no. Starchy fruits are difficult for the body. And, you know, when I first went raw, it'll be 30 years ago in November, so it's 29 and a half years now. I ate a fair amount of zucchini, and today I don't really like zucchini. I won't really eat it. I much prefer to eat cucumbers. So, for instance, in a salad, I'll do cucumbers. I had a friend here the other night visiting, and I made wraps, you know, lettuce leaf wraps with some cucumber noodles and a little bit of guacamole, and that was it. That was my meal. A whole head of lettuce, some cucumber, and some avocado and tomato. Perfect, right? But like with zucchini, I wouldn't even want to do that. It's not tasty to me. It has no interest for me anymore whatsoever. Okay. Green Leafy Gardens, hello there. Junk, hello there. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name correctly. Eric says the free Brave browser is a great one. It blocks ads. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Free Brave, very good. Dat Boy is here. Paulina, hello there. Good to see you too. I'm glad you're here. Hello, Sherry. Yeah, back on finally. It was good to see you. Glad to see you here. It's taken me until now. We completed our call, almost an hour ago, and it's taken me until now. I've been trying to get onto to YouTube ever since, just to let people know I was coming. Couldn't get on today. It's just this computer. Mark Tassi, have you fasted people for intestinal parasites or other parasites? Yes, many, many times. Many times. And in almost every case, seen amazing things. Now, I have a volunteer who just left here after being here for nearly a year and a half. She's fasted with me a couple times. Tried 3. The second time, I stopped her after about 5 days because she came in completely out of balance. I said to her, based on what's going on, we have an electrolyte issue. Let's get you tested. We got her tested, and her electrolytes were way out of whack. And so she needed to break her fast. And then she fasted again, maybe 6 months later after getting things back in balance by eating properly. But she believes she has a parasite problem, and I'm not sure if it's parasites or just, maybe overeating and making poor choices in terms of combinations and some ingredients that people shouldn't eat. I think that might have actually had, the impact. But with most people, we have a lot of success with parasites, and we see people passing parasites in their stool frequently. Not everyone does. Not everyone looks, but sometimes what's happening is the parasites are being broken down by the body. So we have people that come in with parasite issues, and we never see the parasites. We never see a bunch of parasites leave the body, but the symptoms of parasite infection disappear. And so it seems like it's working very well there. Yael is here and says, what about spinach leaves? Is it for simple salads? No, unfortunately, spinach leaves are high in oxalic acid. There was a question earlier about oxalates, and spinach is fairly high in oxalic acid, and so not really optimal. Baby spinach is okay, but something I would eat occasionally, not regularly. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Ian is here. Thank you, Ian. Ian says, greetings from Thailand. Thanks for answering my earlier question on Instagram. Glad YouTube is now okay. Close those windows, it will be drafty. Thank you. All the windows are closed. I've got one window open. This one on YouTube is the only one now. Maybe that's what I need to do. I mean, my computer just seems so slow. I probably had 45 windows open, but I always do. I mean, I'm used to that. That's just how it's always been. Right now, the computer is so slow, maybe that's not going to work anymore. Hello there, folks. I see lots of people here I recognize. Good to see you all. YouTube is back up, Sherry. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Let me scroll back up a little bit. Hello, Ken. Good to see you. Boris says, hi, Loren, my salad is about 1.5 kilograms in lettuce and tomatoes, not too much. I've never weighed a salad. Even here, when we weigh our fruits, we don't weigh the salads for people. I honestly have no idea how much a salad weighs. I don't even have an idea. I mean, you know, the weight of my salads is usually the plate. I use a big bowl. The bowl is heavy. It's a big china bowl. So the weight of the salad inside is probably not as much as the bowl. I really don't know. I'm sorry, I can't answer the question. Flyer says, hey, Loren, if I feel bad after having an exception meal like banana ice cream or some nuts and sensitive after many other exceptions, does that mean my body is clean, or what could that mean? Thanks. Well, banana ice cream shouldn't make you feel bad. So if it makes you feel bad, there's probably something going on there. I don't think it's because you're so clean. I mean, frankly, unless you've done several extended supervised fasts, you're not likely to be as clean as possible. You know, some people would argue with me, I'm sure, but I have extensive experience with this, and people just don't get as clean and healthy as possible without fasting 3 or 4 times properly, you know, long enough and properly. So I doubt it's because you're super hydrated. I don't think that's what's going on. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's what it is. All right. In any case, I'm trying to figure out where I was here on Instagram. I'm going to head back over to YouTube. We have another super chat here, and then I'll come back to the other questions on YouTube. Mark Tassi. Hello, Mark. Thank you very much for your $15 contribution. Mark says, how do you differentiate between between low electrolyte symptoms and detox symptoms, since they both can cause vomiting? It is a really good question. And honestly, it's one of those things. This is where people say, you know, why don't you just say everything? Just tell people everything so they know what to do. Err on the side of caution. So if I think there may be an issue, what we'll do is we'll order electrolyte tests. Our clients pay for it. We don't pay for those tests. But if I say to someone, listen, we need to test your electrolytes, it's going to cost you X amount. That's what they do. And we get the test to make sure that I test anyone and where there wasn't an electrolyte issue. So in other words, usually if I'm saying to someone we should test you, it's because I can see there's a problem. And I'm testing to see exactly what it is, you know, how low those values are, and so people can see what's going on. But you know, it's rare that I'm saying to someone, you know, I think you should get tested, and then it turns out they were perfectly fine. That doesn't happen. Now, is it possible we're missing some people? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible there are some people who we don't get tested that, you know, maybe should have, but we don't run into problems most of the time. It's very rare that we have a serious issue. It does happen, and you know, it's important to understand that if you're planning to go 21, 26, 30 days or more without eating, it's not like it's risk-free, right? There are some potential risks, but the risks are much greater by not fasting, because fasting allows you to get rid of all the toxic garbage, which will eventually destroy your health. And so we see amazing results, you know, over and over again. You know, in this session, we'll have 50 plus people come through here, and with virtually everyone, so far we've seen amazing things happen. We did have a girl go to the hospital, her choice. She refused to drink enough water. I mean, it was difficult because she felt nauseous, but she wasn't really trying. She just didn't want to drink water. And I told her every day, you're going to wind up creating a problem. You're going to become dehydrated. And she did, and wound up needing to go get electrolytes. But you know, had she followed directions, that wouldn't have happened. Okay. But it's a great question. Unfortunately, it's not always easy to tell, Mark. Sometimes it can be difficult to tell what's really going on for someone. Okay. Sherry is here and has made a $3 contribution. Thank you so much, Sherry. Deanna is here and has made a $5 contribution. Thank you so much, Deanna. She says, hi, Loren. If someone recently did a 21-day fast but still has plenty of reserves, do they still need to wait 12 months before fasting, and why? No, they don't. Actually, most people don't need to wait 12 months. You know, I'm fairly conservative about this because I've seen it makes more sense for most people not to rush into fasting again too quickly. But for most people, the wait is probably between 6 and 8 months. There are specific cases where someone has enough, like someone has, let's say, has a tumor, and they fast as long as they're able to, they need to end, but there's still an issue that needs to be resolved. In that case, I would encourage them to fast even sooner than 6 months. And we've done that with good results. But I don't think that's a good idea for the average person. It depends on each person. So, I mean, you know, for you, Deanna, if you're talking about yourself, you would probably be well served waiting 6 months, but you don't need to wait a year. 6 months isn't that long. It takes a while to completely rebalance after a fast of 21 days. What you accomplished here was very powerful, but you're going to want to wait. Keep making excellent choices, and then, you know, and again in 6 months. So it's now May. We're talking about November. We open again in when? I think we open in early November, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the exact date, but it's on our website. You should be fine by then. That should be perfectly fine for you. Okay. Elia Raw Vegan says, I fear I can't fast because of my history of bulimia and my electrolytes also being off. After 3 days, my muscle pain is unbearable. Is this why? It's not likely because of either of those things. It's likely something else going on. It could be, but I don't think so. But getting your electrolytes balanced isn't so difficult to do. You can pay attention to that and get that balance before fasting. We have people do it all the time. You get your electrolytes, back where they should be, and then you would be able to fast. The bulimia didn't necessarily create a problem. I mean, that causes, that taxes your electrolytes. But again, if you can get everything rebalanced afterwards, you should be fine. Loren, what are your views on rheumatoid arthritis? I'm not in favor of it. Rheumatoid arthritis is something you can heal. We have people healing from this all the time. So there's no reason you can't heal from rheumatoid arthritis. Many people have. Okay. All right. Can rheumatoid arthritis be cured, helped through fasting? Yes, absolutely. We've seen this over and over again. No question about it. Okay. It happens all the time that people heal from this. All right. I'm going to scroll back up here on YouTube for a second. Okay. Nightmare says, is Costa Rica requiring vaccine passports to get over there? Nope. Costa Rica is completely open right now. It requires nothing but a special insurance policy, which will cost you a little bit of money to get in, to get, but that's it. You don't need anything else. No PCR tests, no vaccine passports. Costa Rica is happy to have tourists, and yeah, there's no problem. Mark has made another contribution, says, do people often cramp when they're low in electrolytes? It depends on which electrolytes they're low in. It can happen, but cramping is not the most common symptom. Typically we're looking, for instance, if you're low in magnesium, you're going to have some cramps, but magnesium deficiency isn't particularly dangerous. Where it becomes dangerous is when someone is low in sodium, chloride, or potassium, and those electrolytes being low doesn't normally create cramping. There's other things that happen, but it's not normally cramping. Andre, good to see you. Steph, good to see you. Let's see who else we got here. Autoimmune, please. I'm not sure what you mean. Autoimmune, please. What are you asking for, sir? Andre says, how come you don't let volunteers work for you instead of paid workers? We have volunteers. We also have paid workers. I found out the hard way that it doesn't work to have volunteers doing all the work. First of all, we want to be a force for, positive force here in the community. And so Tanglewood is the largest employer in this district. Okay, the district is a pretty large area. It's like a county in the US. We're the largest employer in this district. And we provide, we help a lot of families that way. And I wouldn't want it any other way. But as it happens, I found out the hard way that many years ago, if we're trying to rely on volunteers, volunteers are working because they want to be here, whatever. they're not necessarily as motivated. Um, the paid staff, these are people that are motivated to work. They have families. They need income. So it actually works better for us to have paid staff doing the essential jobs, and then to have volunteers working with us on various projects and so forth. But the running of the center is based on paid staff who we can depend on showing up every day, not disappearing tomorrow because their boyfriend broke up with them, or whatever. I mean, all kinds of things could happen. So we've been there. We do use volunteers, but we depend on paid staff, and we'll always depend on paid staff because I think it works better. I think it's actually a better model. And again, I think we're actually doing something positive for the community this way. We take volunteers who have fasted 21 days or more with us. We want people here who understand the process. And, we're not going to just take anyone. It needs to be people that have actually already done the process with me. And if it feels good, please replay this live so I can share this. Well, this live here on Instagram is available. I mean, I always, sometimes I have trouble putting it up, and so it doesn't happen. It's probably, again, my connection here, which is about to get better. I know it's been miserably bad these last few months, maybe a year or more. We have a new company provider. It should be hopefully within the next week. I'd hope by now. It's not done yet, but it should be coming up very soon. Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. Rachel's here on Instagram. Good to see you here. Again, congratulations. Raw Vegan Dude is here. Darling Dre, good to see you. Okay, so I think I've lysine supplement, is it okay, and what does it do? Well, lysine is something the body needs, but like everything else the body produces on its own, we should be getting it from the body, not from a supplement. Okay, we should get everything we need from either inside the body or from eating food. When we supplement, what happens is we're encouraging the body to not do what it needs to do. Okay, we become dependent on supplements this way. And then what happens if you can't get them? Or, when we're taking something, we're never meeting the body's needs as accurately as well as when we are letting the body do this naturally. So I don't take any supplements and don't recommend supplements unless someone actually needs them. Okay, there are cases where, if you're about to have brain damage because your B12 is so low, you need to take a B12 supplement. But I have never taken a B12 supplement in 30 plus years of being a vegan. There's no need if everything's working properly. Okay. Let's see. It's very weird. You barely talk about parasites. Yeah, well, there's no reason for me to talk a lot about parasites. The body handles them when we fast. It's over. We don't have to worry about this most of the time. Eric says, what other studies, research, etc., just scientific reasoning has concurred with you how you interpret blood pressure spread? Or scientific reasoning. I don't know of anything that concurs with how I interpret blood pressure, but what we see works. We heal people with hypertension. We take everyone and have them feel better. And what I predict will happen with the pulse based on what changes to the blood pressure happen. I think the relationship is obviously accurate. What I'm suggesting is it works. It shows up over and over again. Like every day I see this working with real people, sometimes 40 or 50 people a day. We're seeing this from day to day. So I think it's fairly clear that this is real and works. Okay. Mimi, hello there. Rachel says, thanks, Loren. You've been fundamental in helping me reach that goal. It's been a pleasure working with you. Andre says, thanks for the reply. Something I don't understand is that you're not getting paid, but how do you get new clothes and stuff? Well, first of all, I didn't say I don't earn money. I don't get paid by Tanglewood. I don't take a salary from Tanglewood, and I never have, okay? But I do a lot of other things. Okay, I sell my time consulting. I do various things which generate income. This Tanglewood is running Tanglewood, which is most of my time. I don't get paid for, but Tanglewood provides everything I need. So Tanglewood buys me clothes. Tanglewood gives me this apartment, feeds me, puts gas in the car. Okay, is buying a car for me to drive. That's what happens in a business. Okay, so my expenses are covered. I have very few expenses. When I need to travel to speak, Tanglewood pays the bill. Okay, so yeah, I have the stuff I need. That's true, but I don't take a salary. I mean, if you think, 24 years running a business, I mean, most people would be earning $100,000 a year, $50,000, whatever. Right? What do I take? Maybe a few $1,000s a year in stuff from Tanglewood. That's it. Okay, Rachel asks, what are your thoughts on blue blocking glasses and cold therapy, such as cold showers? I'm not convinced they're natural or healthy, so would appreciate your views. Yeah, similarly, blue blocking glasses, because we have artificial light, it might be beneficial to us to block out some of the spectrum of that light. Cold therapy, cold showers, getting into ice tanks, etc. I'm not so convinced. I've seen some research that claims that there are benefits, but I'm not so sure about the methodology, or these are actually accurate interpretations of what's happening. It's clearly unnatural for us. We're tropical animals. We wouldn't be encountering icy cold water anywhere. I swam in a river day before yesterday, and it wasn't icy cold. I'm up here in the mountains. The ocean here is warm all year long. We're not going to encounter those kinds of temperatures in the tropics. That is unnatural for us. Does it make us stronger to withstand those things? I'm not so sure. I haven't really seen any good evidence that would suggest that that's the case. So, yeah, I'm not really in favor of those things. All right, let's see here. I'm still scrolling down. Are potatoes good? They are not good to eat. No. We don't want to eat potatoes raw. They're very starchy. And anything cooked, when you cook potatoes, you are creating acrylamide, which is a carcinogenic compound. It causes cancer. The lower the temperature, the less acrylamide there is. The higher the temperature, the more there is. So French fries and potato chips are the worst way to consume potatoes because they're very high cooking methods, frying. And you wind up with much more acrylamide that way. Okay, baked goods also contain a lot of acrylamide because baking is a pretty high temperature process. You bake bread at 350, 400 degrees or more. That's creating a lot of acrylamide. So there's no reason to eat potatoes. We should be eating fruit and soft, tender leaves. Those are the only things I eat the vast majority of the time. Occasionally maybe some seaweed every once in a while. Nuts and seeds also are something that are very occasional for me. Maybe 10 or 12 times a year, let's say once a month on average. Perhaps we don't have them here, so there's something we're not consuming normally here. All right, Julie says, hi, Loren, I'm trying to heal my gut issues by only eating fruits, but since I stopped smoking 1 week ago, I got extremely bloated and a bit constipated again. Is this normal? I don't do a lot of work with people who are smoking. I don't have anything against smokers, but the people who come to me have usually already stopped smoking. So I don't know why stopping smoking would create this issue. Now, eating fruit creates issues, and maybe that while you were still smoking, you were suppressing your body's ability to respond appropriately. But bloating, constipation can happen because your body is now rehydrating old material by eating fruit, which is high in water content. You're going to be rehydrating stuff. Julie, the thing to do if you can, Julia, would be to fast. 21 days fasting, I promise you would have a new gut. I could virtually guarantee you'd be healthier than you've been in a long time. So if you're interested in that outcome, let me know. I would be glad to guide you through the process. It's absolutely amazing what happens. Hello to Shauna, Taylor, Lao Tsen Zhu, good to see you. How can we donate on Instagram? I don't know of a way to do that. I think the only way to do that is to go to YouTube. You can donate here on YouTube, but on Instagram, I don't know of any way to make a donation. For those of you that are interested in making donations and maybe aren't here all the time, but would like to be supporting this work on an ongoing basis, I do have a Patreon account as well. So you can go to patreon.com, search for my name, and there you can do, it's the way it's set up. I think you can do like $10 a month or whatever, if you want to. There are people that choose to do that, and we appreciate that support very much, because I do spend a lot of time doing these free live broadcasts, and it's very helpful to have your support. Z-Bubs is here with a $10 contribution and says, how much water did you sip at proper pace per day when you were eating and when you were fasting during the 2 or more many years you took to remove old crap? Well, unfortunately, Z-Bubs, I wasn't paying attention to it back then. I mean, this was more than 30 years ago. I had no idea that I would ever be teaching this to other people or running a fasting center. I had no plans to do those things. I was in a completely different business, was doing very well. I wasn't particularly happy. It wasn't something I enjoyed, but I was making money. And at that point, I didn't have any plans to become a health coach. And so I wasn't tracking how much water I was drinking. I really don't know. I would guess I was probably drinking on average 3 to 4 liters a day, but it's a guess, and I have no way of actually verifying that. I have no records. I didn't write anything down. I just drank, I listened to my body and I drank water, and it took me a while. I didn't know what I was doing. I learned the hard way, something I encourage you guys not to do. I fortunately I survived and I was okay. A lot of people hurt themselves by making mistakes. And virtually everyone, even if they don't hurt themselves, don't come close to getting the benefit that they could. So, if you'd like to do this, maybe not 35 times to try to figure it out, but to do it once and get it right and have amazing results, I can guide you that way. And it's a lot easier that way. Tomas, good to see you. Raw Vegan Dude says, greetings from South Africa. Thank you so much for your time, Loren. I am really, really glad to be able to be here with you. It's my pleasure. It's no problem. Rachel Green. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. Rachel has come to YouTube from Instagram and made a 25-pound contribution and says, happy, belated birthday gift. Thank you so much. Some of you know that I had a birthday. What's today? 14th. So on Sunday, it'll be 2 weeks ago. But you should know that I always accept birthday gifts. So if we want to celebrate every week, we could do that too. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Lao Tenzu says, hey, Loren, if you're found to have some kind of surgery or medical procedure, is it best if you go in a fasted state? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know that that's really necessary. I mean, I think what would make sense would be to fast prior to the surgery. If you haven't already been making, I wouldn't worry about this. My body functions really, really well, heals very quickly. If I was going to have a surgery, or for some reason, let's say I damaged myself somehow, I wouldn't worry about preparing for the surgery by fasting. But if you're eating less than optimally, you might want to prepare your body by fasting first to get your body clean and well functioning. So you're going to sustain, manage the surgery better. Afterward, you're definitely going to want to fast to heal. Okay? Afterward, you definitely want to fast to heal, because you heal much faster by fasting than any other way. And so I fast after every injury. If I have anything serious, if I've broken 7 fingers and 2 toes, 2 ribs, both knees, and my right hip. And after every single incident, whatever it was, this included rolling a quadricycle, being beat up by 2 police officers once, falling when a pull-up bar support broke and I fell, 6 feet onto concrete on my knees. My hip, when I fell 10 feet onto concrete, that was me standing on top of a wall in the rain in my slippery flip-flops, and boom. But anyway, I would fast to heal. I fast to heal from everything. And certainly after surgery, which is traumatic to the body, just being cut open is traumatic to the body, and there's a wound to heal, I would definitely fast after any surgery. I have only had a couple of surgeries. I had a hernia surgery as an adult. I fasted to heal that. I once had a bone spur filed off of a toe. What else? Oh, then I had surgery to reconnect all my flexor tendons after I severed them, as well as an artery in 2 places in an accident while a raw vegan. And so I fasted to heal that as well. I would fast for any significant healing necessary. I would always fast because it's always by far the most powerful and most efficient way. Andre Vincent said, "What's your opinion about A2 milk?" I have no idea what that is. A2 milk? I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Hello, the sheriff. Tashana says, "My body only wants cucumbers and mangoes as a raw foodist. Should I be worried?" Yeah, probably eventually. I don't think you can survive. I don't think you're going to thrive eating only mangoes and cucumbers. Cucumbers have lots of nutrients. That's true. Mangoes, far fewer. Cucumbers are high in water, mangoes not so high. But my guess is you're going to be missing out on some nutrients. You can certainly get all the calories you need because mangoes are relatively calorically dense compared to most fruits. Mangoes are pretty high in calories, twice as high as watermelon, roughly. Cucumbers, on the other hand, have about half as many calories, maybe a quarter as many calories, about half as many, I think, as watermelon. And so they're very, very not calorically dense, but they do have lots of nutrients. So, there's cucumbers and tomatoes mangoes are both wonderful, but I think you would be better off having other things coming in as well. Okay, I don't think you want to have just those. All right. Moan G has made a $10 contribution and said, "How do you fast to heal hypoplasmosis?" This is lung fungus. Well, how you fast is the same way you fast for everything else. The only difference with hypoplasmosis, I would encourage someone to always be in a warm, relatively dry place. So probably not Costa Rica in the rainy season. It would be okay, but it might be a little better in a drier climate because dealing with fungus would probably be easier if you had less humidity. That's my guess about that. But the way you fast is the same. You stop eating, you sip water to ensure that you're getting the water you need without taking it in so quickly that you're flushing out electrolytes, and you rest as completely as possible, and your body heals, and that's what happens. Okay, I'm looking here because I see that someone started my 10 a.m. call. Anyone on the group can start the call, but it's still 4 minutes early, so I'm not going to jump off quite yet. Marie Cruz says, "Hello, Loren. Thank you. Much love." Thank you so much. Much love to you as well. My call is someone's calling me. I'm going to turn that off. All right, let's see here. Marina, let's see. Nope. Maryman Maria joined. Hello there. Good to see you. Oops. Oh, what did I do? That's a shame. Okay. So Cool Hand Ukulele is here. Hello there. Marlia Vidal, good to see you. Ida, nice to see you. Jesus is here. Jesus. All right. Question about dry fasting. Actually, I see there's a super chat here, so I'll try to answer both. Dry fasting, 48 to 72 hours, is a bad idea. Okay, dry fasting is always a bad idea. Rebecca, hello there. Good to see you. Dry fasting is always a bad idea. Okay, the body needs water to be able to function properly and to be able to eliminate toxins through every channel. We move toxins out of the body on water. Water is the universal transport medium. When someone dry fasts, what happens is they shut down the body's cleansing and healing processes. People feel better because they very effectively suppress symptoms. But making oneself more dehydrated is never beneficial. Okay, there's no special things that occur in the absence of water. Okay, water in no way makes the fasting process more detrimental. We need water to function properly. We are mostly water. And the only thing that happens when you dry fast is you become more dehydrated and hurt yourself. It's a bad idea. I don't recommend it to anyone. I've seen many people hurt themselves. I've helped many people recover from the damage they've done by dry fasting. And I would hate to see anybody else put themselves in this situation. It's a really bad idea. Okay, it's not helping you in any way. All right. Detox Delight, hello there. Leonie, you, good to see you. All right, so Alexis has made a €10.99 contribution, says, hello, Loren, a French naturopath on YouTube recommends a banana cure for a week, eating only bananas and salad to detoxify and clear the mental. Your opinion? My opinion is this is nonsense. I mean, listen, if you're eating normally and you eat only bananas and salad, right, everything is relative. Everything is relative. So if you're eating normally and you eat only bananas and salad for a week, of course your body's going to be able to detoxify better because it's going to put much less energy into both processing food and having to out-process the toxins from all the garbage that you normally consume. But water-only fasting is probably 100, if not 1,000 times more powerful. And let me give you an example. We literally see people, we've seen several people here who have been between 15 and 22 years eating an optimal diet. Okay, imagine 22 years eating an optimal diet. 22 years eating an optimal diet. 22 years times 52 is, it's more than 1,100 weeks, okay? More than 1,100 weeks. In 3 weeks, we have people heal things that they couldn't heal in more than 1,100 weeks of eating optimally. Okay? So why would you eat bananas and lettuce for a week when you can fast instead and literally achieve more than 300 times more benefit? Okay? That's what's going on. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, this is someone who, again, look, there's an infinite number of people out there recommending an infinite number of things, but that doesn't mean it's the best thing to do. Okay, this naturopath probably doesn't know anything about actual fasting and thinks this is somehow better. It's not. It's not better in any way. We take people all the time who eat this way all the time and then actually heal them by fasting them. So, folks, unfortunately, 10 o'clock, top of the hour, I am now a few minutes late for a call with a group of clients that are fasting with me right now. I need to go get to this is my last group call of the day. I need to go there. Let me just say before I go, I see that only 19 of you think this is thumbs up worthy. If you're here with me on YouTube and you think you're getting some value from this, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up. If you're here with me on Instagram, you're getting some benefit, please go ahead and like it here as well. There will be a recording on both Instagram and YouTube, so feel free to share that with people. You can paste that link on your page and share it anywhere you like. I think more people need to hear this information. Okay, Unconditional You, Shape Help, don't know what that means. Ace Boogie says, how can I email him? I don't know who him is, but if you mean me, you can email me, Loren at tanglewoodwellnesscenter.com. Got to go, folks. Have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye. See you later, folks.